So preloaded year, we went really deep last time. We're going to do a quick little recap. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. Worth watching. If you haven't seen that yet, go back. We went about an hour and a half. Try and get through this one a little bit quicker, but it really is the most important part of the year, that sort of, December, end of December, January, so that you can plan all your marketing. I used to love this period of time. Again, for 30 years, I ran my own cleaning businesses, finally sold them all off over a period of time, multi-million-dollar company running in small towns. And it was planning the year in advance. So again, obviously I didn't start that way. I didn't know what I didn't know. As I learned and focused on what my role was in the company, which was the chief marketing officer, director of the company. I was out of the truck within a year and a half in my mid-20s, as I realized I need to grow the business. And that's what we're going to talk about here.
Welcome to the Carpet Cleaner Success Podcast, a show created to inspire carpet cleaning business owners to build their own thriving residential and commercial cleaning business. Your host, John Clendenning, has built and sold successful cleaning businesses for multiple six figures over his 30-year career and is the founder of Carpet Cleaner Marketing Masters, a digital agency that turns your online marketing into a lead generation machine. Tune in as John shares proven tips, strategies, and expert interviews to help fast-track your success in the carpet cleaning industry.
But once you get some ideas, once you've been around around for a little while, 1, 2, 3 years, you've got things that worked. You've got things that you've tested. You can split test. You can just become the tactician of growth in your company. So it's not something you can hand off to somebody else. When you're the chief marketing officer, it doesn't mean that you need to be the one that knows how to push all the buttons. Doesn't mean you need to know how to print, postcards and door hangers and yard signs for, offline stuff. You don't need to know how to be the creative. You can hire those people. You need to know the strategy. So what we're going to talk about today is the strategy, so that you know who to hire, what they should be doing, what to invest, what sort of budget's involved. Let's just clear it all out of the way, right? So that's what our goal is today. So if that makes sense, let's roll into it. And we're going to be talking about charting your course, 2x your growth. So what are we talking about 2x your growth? There's a lot of stuff going to come out this year about how you can double your business in a year. We've had a lot of clients double your business. I've helped carpet cleaning clients and homemade services and stuff like that in my consulting side of things go from as low as $5,000 and $10,000 a month revenue, which I got to in 1995 in a town of 30,000 people as a shy kid, and a town I didn't grow up in because I was too shy to open a business in my own town. So I got to 10,000 a month before by spring of 1996. And ultimately we've helped businesses go from, 5,000, 10,000 a month, 15,000, 20,000 a month to whatever their dreams are, $500,000, $750,000, $1 million and beyond, whether that's buying, getting marketing right and then buying competitors and other complementary services. When you're in a small town, go wide. That's one of the things we talk about. If you're in a big town, go deep. You can just focus on one or two things and just go really big with those and dominate and become, a $1 million business, being the entrepreneur, working on your business, not in it. As most of your day, that's what you do. You build the systems, you build the processes, you manage those. We'll talk about that. So if that makes sense, if that sounds intriguing, let's go down that road, shall we? So turn off your cell phones, turn off Facebook, unless you're streaming this on Facebook. Again, I'm not sure if we figured that out yet. I do see a couple of people streaming right in YouTube. So, don't turn YouTube off. If you're in the cleaning home service business, and you're looking to get better results, again, double your business in a year, totally doable. There's nobody going to do it for you. It's a two-way street. You need to have, your role and vendors and people that help you and that kind of thing. So you need to have the strategy. So if that makes sense, let's take the next 60 minutes or so and really bang this out. Okay. So we're going to talk about, like last training, we talked about, setting your goals. What are those number goals? We're going to kind of just quickly run through that again so we can sort of set the groundwork for anybody who might have missed the last call. And then, unlocking the profit power, crafting winning marketing budget and plan, creating the marketing pathway to attract fresh customer inquiries and keep your clients booking and coming back. And if you notice the language right there, that's the language that I've used all my life. A customer is a one-time transaction. You should not be running a transaction business. Nobody makes money running a transaction business. So you can, to try and constantly land new customers, isn't your goal. You're trying to find clients. Clients are your ideal customer avatar that use you once, dip their toe in the water, and go, wow, finally found my guys, and use you for years and years. Like when I sold the business there, coming up 4 years ago now in May, I handed over customers that were second generation. We found them. I found them, 1995, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1999, 2000, and all the way through. But they grew up 20 some odd years later. Their children, if they stayed in the same towns, which a lot of them did, all of a sudden we're now cleaning for the children, and the parents have, either downsized, moved into a condo. And now there's a really cool condo strategy that you can play with because you've got clients that have loved you. Guess who puts you in touch with superintendents and condo managers and stuff like that? So there's a way to do it. Outreach takes a little bit longer. There's a way to do it with with warm introductions as well. That's all marketing. Everything I just said is marketing. So yeah, customers, clients, yay. That's what we want to talk about here. You build a business you can hand off and sell for, hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars by building clients, right? And building lists. So you want to tap into online marketing channels to maximize your lead flow and grow faster. Not everything's online, not everything's offline, not everything's referrals, not everything's repeats. It's a mix. And we're going to talk about that mix because, the $1 million is at the other side of the mix, if that makes sense. Okay, so if you stay to the end, we got a little resource kit to give you. You might have already got it. We keep adding stuff into that folder. You don't need to, when you get in there, you don't need to ask for permission to edit any of the documents. It's Google Drive. And so we've got some PDFs in there. We got some Google Docs. You can look at them on the screen. You can make a copy. You can print them off, things like that, but you don't need edit access. So every now and then, well, not every now and then, pretty much every month when we give away, different resources and stuff like that, all of a sudden I get ping, 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 ping. Can I have edit access? No, we're not letting you change our, the words on our page. You have view access. So just so you know, but you can always click the file, make a copy at the top corner, or, again, print a copy off and hang on to it if you're old school like me. So, anybody new here? We do get newbies every month. So who am I? So career business owner since 1990 when still in high school. So, but a shy career business owner, if that helps. Owns, several cleaning franchise businesses, independent service businesses, e-com product lines. I sold over $50,000 a month on Amazon of utensil sets and things like that, just to look, because I understood marketing and just chose another avenue to give that a try, and started up a consultancy, did speaking, got flown around the world, while still running all my cleaning businesses and expanding, and started a digital marketing agency to help a flood restoration company that grew to 15 locations, and they grew and sold off, in the late just before 2020. So about 8 or 9 years in and out. So I've done all of it, and I've consulted and advised on all of it while actually running the business. So one of the things about building a great business and understanding marketing and writing the book on it as well, it's transferable then, because it's a strategy, it's a mindset. It's not hard to find customers if you've got the business set up properly. We're going to talk about that. It's just marketing, and it's just numbers, and it's just math. Like all marketing is math plus psychology. So if you can put the psychology in place properly and penetrate your marketplace with the right ideas, the right mix, again, the millions are in the mix of the marketing mix. So if you can do that well, you can grow. You can expand, you can buy competitors, you can move a town over, 2 towns over, start again. I did that many times, just drop into a new market and know that within a year from now, that's going to be an extra 10, 15, 20,000 a month in revenue, because you have a plan and you know how to dominate and that kind of thing. So again, that's what we are. We're business owners. If we wanted to be technicians, cleaners, even general managers, we could get a job without all the hassle and the headache. Want to be business owners, we take on the hassle and the headache. We should get out of the $25, $30 an hour work, which is, in the truck, running the office, things like that, maybe 40,000 or $40 an hour general manager type position in our cleaning industry, depending on your side of business. We want to get out of that. And we want to get into the $100, $200, $500 an hour entrepreneurial tasks, right? So that's where we want to be. And let's chart the course to get there. So you'll see a lot of stuff coming up with Clean Facts Magazine over the next couple months or so. We've got some really cool initiatives going on with them. But I was industry leader of the year in 2023 on the front cover there. I do a monthly check-in with Jeff Cross. If we talk quickly enough, it's take 5. If we take a little bit longer to get the strategy and the conversation out, then it's their other one. Is it on the page here? I can't remember the name of it right now. That's embarrassing. Anyways, take 5 is what we're actually designed to record, but sometimes it takes a little bit longer and it goes into a longer session. So straight talk. There we go. Sorry, Jeff, if you're watching, I got it right now. So that's the ISSA as well. Everybody should join the ISSA. It is the Association for Us Cleaners. Lots of resources, lots of cool stuff. And they've been around 100 years this year. So kind of cool as well. So, and again, on my own and with them, I've been on stage with and spoke at events and been on webinars with Howard Partridge and we know Dusty Roberts and Mark Sager and all that kind of stuff. Wrote the book on it. Run the podcast, Carpet Cleaner Success Podcast. We simulcast this back onto the podcast as well. So we have the master classes on, but we also do interviews. Anybody out there wants to be on an interview on the Carpet Cleaner Success Podcast, great for the industry. We just ask about your business and get some really cool info. But just so you know, there's a whole media kit you get around it as well. It doesn't cost you a dime. And we promote the crap out of your business all over with links and all that kind of stuff, just for having a 30-minute conversation and asking you 4 or 5 questions about your business and just having a little banter and stuff like that. We don't go live. So, if there's a flub, never been, I'm okay with, having mistakes and stuff, such as life. But if there ever was, we could actually edit it out if we needed to. But really good for your business. So if you go to carpetcleanersuccess.com, there's a place to request, to be a guest on an episode. And it's just great branding. You can put it out in your marketplace. We show you how to put it out on Facebook, on your page and in your local marketplace and other places like that. And it just helps attract more attention. Reason why I'm mentioning it right now is not just a shameless plug for the webinar. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how all of those types of things actually help you grow your business as well and help you stand out over anybody else in your marketplace, which hopefully is your goal, is to not sort of slide into obscurity or try and keep, hold on to some customers as they're leaving or moving out of the area and get new ones, but is to grow and expand and dominate so you can hand off to your family. You can sell it off, because, if you don't work in corporate, you don't have a 401k. Maybe you want to sell the business for $500,000, $1 million, not about the equipment, but about the value of the business you've built. The person who's buying it doesn't want to sit in a truck. So they might not even want to be a general manager. They just want to buy a business that's already running. If you can set it up where you're needed less and less, that's what I've taught people to do for years, then that one of the strategies is to make sure that you're omnipresent in your marketplace. So we're going to talk about that as well. And because, again, do it right, and you get to be one of these cool people, lots of cool people that we've talked to, helped, coached, and worked with. So how do we do that? We talk about this every single time. I'll rattle through it quickly, but there is 3 principles to growing your business, to being omnipresent. So why do you want to be omnipresent? When you're omnipresent, you're known by everybody. You are the best known cleaner in your marketplace. As Grant Cardone says, it's not about being best, it's about being best known. If you're omnipresent, that's what that means. You've been able to maximize the opportunities to generate a qualified lead. So where are the opportunities? Where do your leads hang out? Talked to somebody the other day, John, can you give me a hand running Google Ads? Yeah, one of the things we can do. What else? Oh, no, that's all I need. There's nothing omnipresent about that. That's a small part of the, that's one, as I like to call, poles in the water. That is one pole in the water. That is a small trickle. You want more trickles to start turning into a faucet, and growing the business? Yeah, you don't want to be any one spot. You want to maximize your opportunity to generate a qualified lead. You want to maximize your brand impressions. So, in the world of direct response marketing, one of my favorite is Dan Kennedy. I trained under him. I know I spent a weekend with him in won a contest and spent a weekend with him in Florida years ago, just tearing apart my business, and got me into coaching. Actually, that was his suggestion, and things like that. I also learned from everybody else in the marketing world, all the way up to the modern Alex Harmozis and Russell Brunsons, who all learned from people like Dan Kennedy, Jay Abram. Michael Gerber, the E-Myth. There's lots and lots and lots of places where we can learn. And in the world of direct response marketing, brand impressions, it's like, sometimes they say, yeah, if it doesn't earn its keep, it probably shouldn't be used. Some avenues. Other people understand. Like, again, there's a fine line between that. If you put about 10% of your budget, your marketing budget, we'll get into what a good marketing budget is. If you put 10% of your overall marketing budget into brand impressions, online, offline, everywhere, omnipresence, then that 10% doesn't have to show up as, that generated a phone call, that, because it's brand awareness. It's like, why do plumbing companies, the best plumbing company in town, the lawyers, the real estate agents, go on back of buses and go on park benches and go on billboards and things like that? Offline and online, you're trying to watch a YouTube video, or you're streaming a TV show on a streaming service, and all of a sudden they show up. Hey, are you looking to buy a house in the local area? And you're going, holy crap, how did you know? Right? They're trying to be omnipresent. Why? Because they got a part of their budget to go towards that. Well, they got the direct response budget and all of that kind of stuff. So if you know your budget and you know how to do that math, omnipresence, you have to have brand impressions, because those are Google's zero moment of truth called ZMOT. Go look it up. People need to see 11 impressions of your brand before they consider buying it, picking it off the shelf, know the product. We've always heard 5 to 7 impressions before they start to know you, like you, and potentially trust you, things like that. So those numbers are still within that realm, 5, 7, 11, whatever the studies are, it's not one. So, I put out flyers or door hangers or postcards. That didn't work. How many did you do into the marketplace? 1. We know why, right? Do you have any brand impression in that marketplace? If you do, maybe the 1 hit on 20 other things you've done. If you don't, now we know why. Nobody knows, likes, or trusts you yet. And that's how we decide when you are going to find, something that you put a little bit of thought into. Do you do it on, a kick of the can? No, that's the cheap discount. You don't care about stuff. Is your ideal customer cheap discount and don't care about you? Hopefully not, because that's not a client. That's just a one-time transactional customer. See how these things all mesh together? So, and then we also want to maximize our conversions, because we can be seen everywhere. And with brand impressions, we could be maximizing our opportunities by everywhere somebody who's looking today can look and find you. Anybody who's not looking today, but the right crowd to impress upon for later. So when they are looking, I know those guys, right? The two connect together. But if you can't convert them, which a lot of people can't, as well as you think you can, if you can't convert them, and it's not about price, if you can't convert them at like one of the highest prices in your marketplace, you don't know how to convert. So I always suggest call around the top end competition, the best, most expensive, the one that everybody knows competition in town, the top 10, and make sure your pricing is at least in the top 1/3 by start, and then give options that go up from there, right? Premium options and stuff like that. So there's a way to sort of grow that way. The discount crowd, you're always just looking for transactions. You need huge volume. And as soon as the volume drops, you're out of business. And I've seen that far too many times. When you build a really, really elite boutique type business in the right avenue for your marketplace, if your average household income is 120,000, that's different than if your average household income in your area is 50,000. Those numbers are available online. Every time we talk to somebody who's interested in a consult and things like that, that's one of the first things we do. Is before we even jump on the call, our team goes out and, for me, researches the entire area, the average household income, demographics, what's happening in the marketplace. Is it a growing marketplace? Is it a shrinking marketplace? Is there new stuff coming in? Is there all that? We do all that. You should know that. You're a business owner. There's more than enough times I'll walk into that conversation, mention all that, and they go, I didn't know that. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I think I heard about that new whatever, Amazon plant, or, Cisco office, or whatever, if Cisco's still around, but that kind of idea. So knowing that and knowing what's going on in your marketplace can, help as well in growing your business, but you need to be able to convert the right people to choose you. And conversion is a psychological condition, right? It's not a low price. So What's the hardest part about marketing a carpet cleaning business online? We're going to rattle through some of the stuff we talked about last week just to get our bearings here. Lots of options. Where do you put your budget? How do you market? Like, John, Google ads. I tried it, didn't work. Local service ads, try Facebook ads, tried it, worked for a while, stopped working. Did it. I tried postcards. I tried this. I tried that, right? You might have something working for now and then it stops. Your business goes up and down and up and down. And you're basically just on a roller coaster. If you put a line through it, you haven't changed in 5 years, right? Your business should be like the stock market currently, but it should be like over time. The stock market is traditionally straight, put a straight line through the middle, up and to the right. It goes up and it goes down. It goes up and it goes down. There's fluctuation, but it's hilarious. But dead investors actually do the best. It's weird, but there's people that have just invested in the S&P 500 index fund and then died, and they outpace the average sophisticated investor by a lot because they just got in and rode it. It was time, right? Time in market. So same idea. You want to make sure you know where you're at. So we've got things like SEO, PPC, website, social, that's, all the online stuff, local service ads. And we've also, I kind of use the billboard here for offline. That's door hangers and yard signs and A-frames and postcards and, right? Lots and lots of stuff. So it's a major investment to market. I get that. And you're not sure if you have anything to show for it. We'll talk about how you track that in the first place. But, right? So failure, if you can't have a clear plan, you're overspending, or worse, I actually say worse, underspending and underperforming. So what we gave away last week or last month as well, carpetcleanermarketingmasters.com/2025 workbook. You'll see there's a workbook you can download afterwards and just do some thinking. Sit with your favorite coffee, glass of wine, whatever it is, and in a quiet spot, listen to the jazz music or classical, something that, nothing loud, nothing, something calming and resonating well, that kind of thing. And just settle into it. Take a deep breath, no anxiety, calm down and write down your plans and your thoughts for the year. If you haven't done that already, it's part of being a business owner. So let's do that. All right. So what's the opportunity? Get a clear plan, goals, targets, KPIs, key performance indicators. How do we know we're on track? You don't know you're on track if you don't have a performance indicators. How many calls did we get last week? How many do we get next week compared to the year ago? How many do we get in this month, in this quarter? Inquiries, calls, and messages, and where did they come from? Even like, is there a changing market? Did we get a lot of messenger messages last year? Now we don't. Is there a problem there? Like, if you're tracking, the more you can track in your business, the more you can adjust. You know what's working, not working. You see the signs before the cliff shows up. Right? You don't want to be falling off the cliff and going, oh crap, everything slowed down. What happened? You should have been marketing based on the signs months ago, right? Years ago sometimes, but months ago for sure, right? Nothing shows up out of the blue. So enough leads to hit your goals, right? And again, I hate that word leads, inquiries. You got enough people phoning in, repeats, referrals, new customers that you're going to turn into clients because you're ideally targeted, all that, to meet your goals. You have a return on your investment. Again, knowing full well that about 10% of your marketing budget should go to that omnipresence, that brand awareness, not the omnipresence part of it, but that second step, the brand awareness, because then it feeds into everything else, right? So again, brand impressions are your van. Do you drive around in a white van with a magnet, or do you drive around in a fully wrapped van that just tells a story and makes people go, holy crap, right? There's a right way and a wrong way to do all that. Do you have a great brand, impactful brand messaging? That is the logo, that is the wording, that is your tagline, that is your promise, right? Do you have that? Because if you have that and it's on the van, then it doesn't matter if you're in the drive-through at McDonald's or your team is, you're driving around. I used to drive slowly through the richest neighborhoods in town on Saturdays. I'd have maybe one job in the morning, or if the technicians, after I was out of the truck and the technicians had jobs, I would hop in one of the other vans. And we always had a backup van in case a van went down. It was kind of weird, but we always bought off lease and then had the backup one looked nice, but would have been, a little bit rougher on the inside and stuff like that, just so that if anything went down, we had backup equipment. We didn't stop cleaning. We just moved, transitioned. So I would jump in that and drive slowly around neighborhoods and stuff like that, as if I was looking for a house number to go clean or whatever. But I did it because there's everybody out cutting grass. There's everybody out. The kids are out playing and stuff like that. And I was just putting myself like around the golf course road, homes and stuff like that, right? So just other strategies. So what you want to get out of this is there is actually a blueprint. There is a master plan for this. I've trained on it. I've coached on it. There's $1 million blueprint. How do I know? I ran it. I built it. I perfected it. Looks like this. Here's the blueprint. Right? It's what to do on lead. What is your foundation? Without that, none of this happens. What is your lead generation? Look at how many there are. What are your lead generation sources? What are your secondary response sources? Do you even know what that means? Do you have a prospecting funnel? What is your direct content routine or contact routine? And then from there, what do you do from that? What are you trying to sell them? Right? You're not selling them one thing. You're not trying to book a job. Always. Right? That's sort of the holy grail. I want to get into your home. But is there a secondary? Well, what if I get in to do a quote? Well, John, I don't like doing quotes. I just want to go out and clean. The average job was $500, $600, $700, $800. Do you mind? And you're not doing it as technician. You got a technician doing it because you're out meeting people, smiling sweetly, smelling nice, creating a routine and finding the very best people that you will clean for the rest of their lives. Now, will you do a quote? Maybe, right? So, and do you have any sort of like what I like to call a reclamation funnel? So maybe they got some information. They don't want to quote. They don't want to an in-home quote yet. They don't want to clean. They're not ready to book a cleaning. Good. Did you get all their information so you can drip on them and drip on them and drip on them with the right messages until they're ready to buy, right? And then did you deliver a show when you showed up? Did you call on the way over? Like I taught on this around the world, delivering a client experience. I know there's a bunch of you guys do this, and there's some of you that never even thought of it. You show up in jeans and a t-shirt and wonder why you don't get referred. Customers love me. I'm sure you're a great person. That's not going to work with technicians, and that's not how you grow a company. There's a reason why the bigger companies wear uniforms. It wasn't just because they felt like it. It creates a professional appearance. My guys went out in shirts and ties for decades. It was probably only the last 5 or 6 years. We kind of went down to high-end polos and stuff like that, but they wore dress pants or khaki pants. They had their indoor shoes, their outdoor shoes, the booties, roll out the red carpet. We all know the game, but you got to play it and you got to teach it. You got to call on the way over. You got to get right out of the van. Don't text the girlfriend. Don't teach the technicians. You don't sit in the van for a while while the customer's getting pissed off looking out the window. When's he coming in? No, right out, knock on the door. Like strangers ring the doorbell, friends knock on the door, take a giant step back. Normally it's big guys, small women, that's usually who mother-in-law answers the door, you name it, whatever. We don't want to be imposing. Business card handed out with our face on it, big smile. It's a good way to start. Wait to be invited in. Like there's all these, like we teach all these humanics, all these little mechanics and humanics to make them go, oh my gosh, these guys are great. Then when you recommend and suggest higher end packages and services, they go, yeah, that sounds right. And they mean it because you actually advise them. You're not scamming them. You advise them. You've got dogs, you've got pets, you've got kids, you've got this and that. I recommend that we go with this package that protects and sanitizes and deodorizes and refreshes. And I'm going to give you these freebies and you get this 1-year warranty and all this kind of stuff. That's much better than our basic cleaning. Oh my gosh, that's great. So that's the show. Then you do your follow-up. For the immediate follow-up, ongoing retention to create a repeat client and back into direct contact again, because your repeat client is messaged ethically, warmly, where they're not feeling overwhelmed. We used to message our best clients 48 times a year without them ever, like maybe 1 out of 100 or 200 to go, John, that's a little much. Okay, we'll back off on for you. The other 99 to 199 never said that. Right? They kept getting the messages, and they did the only one that they cared about was the one that hit them when they're ready to get services again. Right? But all the other ones just impressed upon them. Oh, those are my guys, because they're warm, welcoming messages. Right? So, and it's not just emails. We know, well, John, what does that mean? Well, I text message my customers once a year. Really? 48 times a year, monthly newsletters, weekly, mailings, 3-step campaigns at different times of year. We'll talk about a couple of campaigns that are good right now, this time of year, things like that. Like you put that all together and you've now touched them, a check-in phone call to make sure they're happy, a reminder sequence at the end of the year, not one mailing, but an actual sequence that goes over a couple of months. Month 10, 11, 12, 13 is how we used to do it. So early birds and then, anniversary and then extended 1 month only. Sorry if that makes a noise when I'm hitting my mic. But anyways, you want to have all those in place. That's a blueprint. We've defined the blueprint. So let's set clear goals quickly. So we talked about last time, with no direction, you were dead in the water. With clear goals, you've got wind in your sails. You know what to aim for. Now you can adjust. So ready, fire, aim, fire, aim, fire. Oh, there's the bullseye. There's the bullseye, right? That's how we do it. So, yeah, that's what we talk about. So, as Brian Tracy says, another good person to follow on business marketing and mindset, success is having goals. All else is commentary. If you don't have goals, you're winging it, right? If you're winging it, nobody's ever really been successful winging it. They get lucky for a little period of time. I've talked to guys that ran Facebook ads for a while and were doing $20,000 a month in Facebook ads. As soon as it dried up, they're almost out of business again. Why? They didn't build a business. They had a transactional customer churn. And as soon as that source dried up, they're trying to find another source. Again, roller coaster. But if you put a line through it, they have not done anything. So, right. So you need to have SMART goals, as we talk: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. So what are those? I want to grow by this much. I want to have this process in place. I want to add these, I want to have, $50,000 worth of a new service by the end of the year. Okay, that's specific. Is it measurable? Yeah, $50,000. Is it achievable? Well, what does that break down to? If your average service is $500, you need 100 of them, right? Math, right? Yep. So is that achievable? Can you get 100 people at this $500 new tile and grout service and this new, hardwood floor cleaning? Maybe that's worth 800 or 1,000, whatever that is. But can you add $50,000 this year? That's now achievable. How much money do you want to make from the service? Oh, a lot. Not a SMART goal, right? You want it relevant. You don't want to be saying, hey, I want to make $50,000 in selling my wife's Mary Kay cosmetics on my carpet cleaning jobs. That's not relevant, right? You got to make it relevant and time-based. We just said within a year, right? By this time, by the end of December, right? Okay, cool. Can we do that? Now you have a plan to implement. It's going to start slow and go. So now what are you going to do to make that happen, right? Then you can set deadlines. That's the 1 year goal, quarterly. Well, the first quarter, I might want to have in the first quarter $5,000. So 10 customers. Can I get 10 customers in the first quarter to get the ball rolling? Take some before, during, and afters, create stories. Yeah, right. Now that's doable. Now you're partway there. Now you maybe the next quarter, you want to ramp that up to 15,000. So the combined is 20. Oh, half a year in and I'm at 20. I'm almost at my goal, right? So now you've got a plan. You can work your way backwards. And that gives you the monthly goals as well. And you must have a stopping point every quarter. Is what we like to do. And then at the end of the year, but every quarter, let's reflect. Are you tracking to make this happen? It sounds like a lot to some of you I'm a carpet cleaner. How's that? No, you're a business owner. You're the marketer of cleaning services first and foremost. The technician is the carpet cleaner. If that still happens to be you right now, okay, you got 2 jobs. All right. So what are your goals for 2025? Revenue targets. We talked about this. So say, for example, your revenue target is $350,000. How much is that monthly? That's 29,000. What is your average job value? Do you know that? Are you using Service Monster? Preferred. I like Service Monster. Hi, Joe. If you, Joe's the owner, by the way. Marquette, pretty good. House Call Pros, not a big fan. It's good. It's just, I find it kind of, compared to the other ones, not quite the best, right? For a bunch of reasons, but they try hard. So, but they'll tell you right on the home screen what your average job is right now, what it was for the last quarter, what it was for the last year. Again, for anybody in the north, we're running into winter, and it's been freaking cold, right? Like you're getting into, for our Canadians, -20, -30. For our Americans, that's still -10, -15. So at -40, they actually both converge. Celsius and Fahrenheit is the exact same thing, just so you know. So, yeah. So maybe your average job in this time of year is a little bit smaller for the first quarter of the year. So you can have them factored out that way. Go, oh my God, my average job's going down compared to what? Well, my year. Okay. Well, what about the quarter last year? Oh, good numbers, right? So how many jobs will that require to hit those numbers? Right? What's your average job conversion? Do you know from every source? Should be 100% from repeats, should be at least 90% from referrals, right? They should be. But what about those customers that aren't clients yet. The first time they found you, they've seen you once, they've seen you 10 times. They've got the ZMOD, zero moment of truth, going on in their head. You have entered into another thing called their Dunbar numbers. There's only certain people that, there's only about 1,500 to 2,000 sort of names, people that we remember at any time, and that's at the best of us. So less than that in the rest. So how do you fit into somebody's Dunbar numbers? Their family takes up the bet. They know you. They know the name. They know the face. Friends and acquaintances. They can remember a face, maybe not remember a name, and then it goes from there. And you just become more and more obscure because people can't remember everything. So that's do you know your average inquiry from source, right? Then you divide your job inquiry target per month by your conversion rate. So if you know what your conversion rate is from, either all sources, average, the split of each of them, now you're in the game, right? So if your average is about 50, should be on cold. Like I booked 90%. We get into the back end, listen to calls, see it, and no, you book 90% of repeats and referrals. You book 20% of local service ads or Google ads. We see that. Facebook ads even less. So do you have a plan to get about 50%? So now you can run some math as an example. So in that scenario, you would need 244 leads. So what we can do right now is let's just switch over and do a quick little bit of math. We're going to go in and out of this calculator. You guys got access to it. But it's the other one was the workbook. This is the 2025 worksheet. So let me make sure I can switch over. Let me double check my screen that I did switch. I switched over. Good. Well, look at me. Right. So say again, oops. I get to there. Sorry. Okay. So here's an example, right? We've got a lot of tabs across the bottom on this, so you can get access to this at the end. So just wait to the end as well. It will actually be in that bundle as well, but you can just write down the URL. Don't get distracted. But say, for example, if you're doing 100,000 right now, are you going to be able to do 450,000 this year? No, maybe, but no. I'd buy a couple of businesses if I was going to try and get to there. If you're doing 10,000 a month, I think a good goal, 100, 120,000 would be to double. Right. So let's, if you're doing 200,000 right now and your goal is 400,000, let's put that in. Right. Just put that number in. Right. So your monthly target is 33,000 a month. Now we do know that we can break that down by months. And there's certain months that could be like, so I've made that available. You can adjust to get to it's a little bit slower in the winter in the north. It picks up in the second quarter, goes like nuts in the third and fourth quarter. So you can adjust that way, right? But what is your average job? If you know that your average job is $200, right? You need to have, and you need to have 167 jobs, $200 jobs. If you can do 4 or 5 a day, right? And there's about 22 work days in a month without working Saturdays and Sundays and beating yourself up. Work-life balance. Maybe you do Saturday morning one job or something like that. Maybe, but again, technicians should be out there doing it anyways. But if your average job is $200, you need a lot. 167 jobs to hit that goal. So that's probably 2 trucks on the road, if not more, because you could really only do, if you do 4 on average a day, 5 days, that's 20 a week. That's 80 a month. That's half of that. So you at least need 2 trucks on the road at best, and definitely $800 a day. But if your average job is 500, like a lot of our clients, you only need 67 jobs. That's one guy, maybe with a helper, right? That's 1 truck on the road, 1.5, right? So you could be doing $250,000, $300,000 per truck. And when it's really busy, have that second van available, that backup, have 2 guys split off into separate and come back together, things like that. So lots of ways to play this game. That's with a 50% conversion rate. What if your conversion rate, you get really good at it, you follow up really well, you chase people down, you stay in touch with them even if they didn't buy this time, so they buy next time. So your conversion rate of the inquiry, the original inquiry, your conversion rate is not 50%, but say it's 60, right? Now you see the number of inquiries you need. We said the word leads there. I am going to change that to inquiries right now because I've meant to for a long time. Right. So how many inquiries do you need? Now you need 111. But say you only have 40% because you actually track your numbers and you realize across all avenues, you only have 40%. right? Now you need 167 inquiries to hit the exact same 67 jobs. So knowing this number becomes very, very critical. And then what's your average cost to generate an inquiry, right? Again, I will put inquiry here because I hate the word lead. There you go. Okay. So given in this calculation here, you need about 18% of your revenue. And I always say the numbers between 15 and 20%. And I stuck really close to 20% my entire career once I learned this. Of revenue, made $100,000, 20,000 went to marketing. So that's 10,000 a month, 2,000 goes to marketing. Why? Because that gets you to 15,000 a month in a few short months or less. And now you've at 15,000 a month, you've got $3,000, 20% to go towards marketing. All your marketing. Now your mix gets a little bit better, right? The millions are in the mix, right? So, and then you go up to, that gets you to 20,000 a month in revenue on average, like your average consistent revenue. Now that's $4,000 in marketing. When I was doing over $1 million a year, that was 200,000 in marketing. Why? Because that grew us up to 1.2, 1.3 million on and. We started selling off some of the business entities after that. As I was planning my exit, sold them off in chunks because we had separate business brands. Part of the strategy to actually make more money. But anyways, that's the idea, 20%. So you want to stick around that. So this works out to, where did we get that 36 from? Little tab over here. Pay-per-click. The average cost for it to generate an inquiry on pay-per-click. I'll run the math for you in a little bit. Why do I say it's that much, right? So the average about $55. If you book half of them, you just spent $100 to buy a customer. And that's good. In carpet cleaning, we can debate that all day long. I can prove that was good 20 years ago, right? If you run a great company, he who spends the most to generate a qualified prospect, qualified inquiry, wins, right? So Google local service ads, you could be on average about $40 these days. You might be in a market that's a little bit less, but on average about $40. Facebook ads, if you're running those as a brand awareness done properly, then about $25 generates the average inquiry through but you get tons of brand awareness in that. Repeat and referral. And again, Facebook ads works also on Nextdoor ads and a bunch of other cool stuff. Repeat and referral, that you're going to spend money to get people to come back. You need to mail them. You need to have a budget for every single customer. So $15 to $30, like $2 a month, $3 a month at the most. $30 out of the job they just gave you to get them to come back again, right? That's not that much, right? So on average, say $2 a month worth per client to get them to come back once a year, right? That's a client now, not a customer. We're turning them into a client. SEO, it's going to be the biggest game changer in your business. Google Maps and SEO, as it grows and ranks and expands and matures and stuff like that, that will be where most of your inquiries come from. That's a major part of your omnipresence, right? And you have any other sources as well. There's other things that you do. Put them down here. Put your numbers in, right? When you get a copy of this, you can go get a copy, make a copy, and plug your own numbers in, right? You find out that your average cost, $36, that just fills in right here automatically from that other page. Now we know minimum required monthly budget would be about $6,000 to generate enough inquiries at that price to generate that many inquiries because of your conversion rate. Because of your conversion rate to generate that many jobs at that job average. And as you change these numbers with the little arrows on them, you can watch how everything adjusts. And then you can figure out where to put your budget allocation on the third screen. So figure that out. And then what kind of marketing you do. There's an entire year's marketing calendar for you built on our digital dominance method, right? So, and we'll talk about a few of those here in this call as we get going, or as we're wrapping through. So anyways, so hopefully that made sense. Hopefully there's a lot of unpacking there that kind of made sense in your brain. So a lot of people talk about not enough leads. And again, I don't agree with that. A lot of times it's just not enough conversions, but where are they coming from? Let's fill that gap in. Are you thinking multi-channel? It's no longer about one thing. Your hub is your website, so it better tell your story really, really well and convert. Your website is a key conversion principle, and it starts building that organic that ranks, right? The neighborhood marketing, in the ideal neighborhoods, do they know you like nobody else? Do you have JV partners that are referring you because you work that like a dog. You work that hard, right? Are you on social media in the right way? Because the average demographic of social media is 35 to 55, college, university educated, slightly higher income adults. Kids don't go on Facebook much anymore. YouTube, even kids aren't. A lot of kids are on YouTube. They go to TikToks, as we know, and the ban has been extended 90 days, and they go on other platforms, Instagrams and things like that. So no, these are where the adults are, right? So, and eventually when your business gets big enough, there's a reason why the best businesses in town are on drive time radio. Maybe you want videos pre-roll on YouTube, but also on streaming apps. Anybody who searched for carpet cleaning in the last 7 days, we have a data source. We know if they searched, they didn't find you, they didn't click on anything. We just know that they searched, and we can, in front of them on streaming apps, we can have your video pre-roll, like those real estate ones we talked about. That's how they do it as well. Are you looking for a home in the Wichita, Kansas area? Oh my God, how did he know? Right? Well, he knows because of this data. That data is available to carpet cleaners as well, through marketers and so that. Are you email marketing to stay in touch? Are you direct mailing? Because that at least guarantees to get eyeballs on it, especially if it's got either naked mail, which is a postcard that gets their attention right away. Doesn't need to be glossy, just needs to be attention grabbing, a lot of times funny. And are you running paid search, right? You need to have that all in perspective. Why? Dan Kennedy. These are just, I think he's got more books than this now, and training courses. I've probably invested, the numbers north of 50,000, probably even close to $100,000 in marketing, training and courses and conventions and boot camps and stuff over 25 or more years with this man alone, not to mention all the other ones, right? So, yeah. You need to learn. My craft was marketing, cleaning services. I needed to learn from the best, right? So this was examples. But one of his quotes, the simple truth is, if you aren't deliberately, systematically, and methodically, very key words, or rapidly and dramatically establishing yourself as an authority, at least to your clientele and target market, you're asleep at the wheel, ignoring what is fueling the entire economy around you. You understand why people watch 18-year-old girl on YouTube or on TikTok or whatever do their makeup? Do you understand what causes the influencer culture? Do you understand when somebody is an influencer, good, bad, or ugly, however, this isn't a political judgment, but can launch a meme coin on crypto, Trump coin, and do $80 billion in a day and a half, 2 days? That is an authority figure in a mindset. They have captured authority in a mindset, right? You want to do that in your small scale, right? We're not going to get that big. So a couple other quotes by Dan that just, I mean, they're plastered around my office. They're up over, anywhere you look in my office. But the entrepreneur's real job is marketing. Thank you, Dan. Marketing the product or service that their business offers. The guys and gals who master marketing are the ones who make the cash register ring and live a good life. Once again, your products and services are not your business. You are not a carpet cleaner. You are the marketer of the products and services. You are in the marketing business if you want to own a business. Marketing done well does the majority of the selling for you. All businesses succeed or die on effective marketing systems. What you think marketing is determines on how well these sentences land. If you go, oh, I know people that don't do any market, I guarantee you we can have a conversation on what marketing is, and I can prove to you that they do market. They have a couple of poles in the water. They're just one of the many ways of marketing. It isn't just one thing. It isn't just advertising. It isn't running paid ads. Marketing is everything you do that impresses upon the public and your ideal clientele that you are a choice, if not the top choice. That's your goal in marketing, and that marketing impresses upon them, gets you their attention. The greatest day in a business owner's life is when he or she stops doing the doer of the thing and become the marketer of the thing. I was lucky to do that before my 27th birthday. Started at 25. Within 2 years, I realized I was the full-time marketer of the thing in carpet cleaning, and then all the other cleaning businesses. Your product or service is not your business. Your real business is marketing, advertising, and selling your business's products and service. Your business product and services. If you have a barbershop, for example, your job is not cutting hair. Instead, it's marketing and advertising to find new clients who want their hair cut. That makes sense. Dan Kennedy, all of these are his phrases and words, just so you know. So what it kind of looks like, again, we're talking about all in perspective. You want organic. You want organic growth, right? Organic takes the longest, but it's the best. So you got to get started. If you wait, I haven't started anything organic. Organic offline is shoe leather to pavement. Who do you know, right? Are you knocking on doors? Are you walking in every single month? Are you doing the Howard Partridge, delivering food and coffees and just, who are these guys? Who are these guys? Oh, you're back. Oh, hey, Tommy. Like that might have happened, took 6 months, but eventually you're not you're a, ooh. Guess who gets referred? Because you put in a little bit of effort, little bit of cost, not a big deal. Social. So online organic is your website ranking for everything everywhere in your marketplace. It's your Google Maps ranking wider and wider. Well, a lot of people go, my Google Maps, I'm number one. Where? There's no way you're number one everywhere. Guaranteed. Don't believe me? Call us up. We'll run heat maps for you. We'll prove it. There's no way. You are within a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles, and all like this blobby map and everywhere else, you don't show up in the 3-pack at all. And that's for one term. What about all the terms people search for, right? Organic is showing up everywhere, online and offline, where your ideal client is looking. Offline as well. That's your job, right? Social media is also social. Social is, the Chamber of Commerce, the BNIs, again, meeting and greetings, right? So you might walk into businesses and offer to do quotes and free cleanings and demos and spottings and stuff like that. Organic outreach. You might walk into referral partners, real estate agents, interior designers, maid services, things like that, and get to know them. Join the chamber and be social. You might join Facebook groups of other business owners in your marketplace. Why? Because you're being social. So there's an online and offline component to that, right? And press releases and branding all fit into that. And that takes, you can jump through that quicker, but it still takes time. A lot of people start with paid ads to start with. The point isn't you don't stop them. If this chart was really good, you'd see like sort of the yellow haze through here. Again, like the ... is doing good there. It'd be sort of do, right? Paid only does so much. And it's your most expensive new inquiry. It's your most expensive new customer. This is cheaper, takes longer. This is the least expensive, takes the longest to build up. Right? You can pay your way in here, but 3 or 4 to 1 ROI, depending on how good you sell and what your average price is, that's all you can expect from there. So where do jobs come from? We talk about filling in the gaps. There is 45 different spots right here on this chart alone of where jobs come from in the cleaning world. So you got to be able to start checking them all off. You say, well, I do Google ads. Okay. Well done. What else? That's about it. Do you see why you don't have 2 or 3 trucks on the road? Whether you're in a town of 100,000 people or 1 million people. 1 million people, just be the most expensive beyond compare. Town of 100,000, 200,000 people, you can still have 2 or 3 trucks on the road. You're going to end up buying out the competitors and stuff like that. The older guys that are retiring and go, can you buy my business? No, I want your database. I don't want your business. I'll take the truck and sell it on, the buy and sell, Kijiji, whatever. But, yeah, I want your customers and I want to, let me take a look at that. So that's kind of what you need to think about. So you want to set that realistic budget. We talked about that, 15 to 20%. I say 15, you're not trying hard enough, 20%. If you're starting a brand new business, I would have enough money in your back pocket where you could be 25%. I knew a guy that built a business from zero to over $1 million a year in less than 5 years, brand new, never stepped in the truck even once because he had $100,000 marketing budget to start with and a really good business acumen. He became a mentor of mine years ago. I learned a lot of stuff from him, but he started that business that way. And he reinvested all of his profits because he had income. He did not need to be earning money originally from the company. So 0 to $1 million business in 5 years by just prolifically marketing and reinvesting all the profits. So probably about 25% revenue, 30% revenue, depending on where like that back into the business, right? So he had his 20% marketing budget and then the rest of it got dumped in again so that he could back off to just 20%. glean the rest off the top, and the rest off the top was a couple $100,000 a year take home to not run the company because he was never in the truck. He hired people to answer phones and book jobs and do all that kind of stuff. So anyways, it is possible. So yeah, so you got to think about that. So one way to think about sort of budgeting, I know we talked about sort of making sure you have multiple poles in the water and how you're going to do your budgeting. I just wanted to share one of the things that we run through with our clients. I'm going to pop back over to this here. We do talk about where to allocate your budget: online, offline, repeat business, how to break that down, how to think about it based on the numbers on that home page and the 20% and. But let's say I get asked a lot, pay-per-click. John, how do I know how much to invest, or what kind of pay-per-click budget? I don't know why that keeps disappearing on me. What kind of pay-per-click budget do we need to consider? And I go, it's just math, right? So let our team run a report. What is the average cost per click for the ideal target keywords in your marketplace across all of them? Like, say, for example, it's $9. We're able to get it down to under $3 sometimes over teaching the algorithm, great landing pages, just great ad copy. But that's an algorithm that it takes it takes a statistically significant amount of data to teach the algorithm. About 5,000 conversions to a call starts teaching Google. That's their own math, starts teaching Google properly. And that's got to come fairly rapidly. So you can't have a $300 a month budget, $10 a day on pay-per-click and expect, well, I want 5 phone calls a day. Doesn't happen. Why? Because the average cost to even click on your ad to get to your landing page in carpet cleaning is about $8 or $9 in most marketplaces, right? We can take that down a little bit, but let's just start with sort of averages. And then, so weekly budget, how many days a week do you want to run your ads for? Say you only want to run Monday to Friday, right? 5 days a week. So now you know that you need about $1,000 a month because there's about 4.2 weeks in a month on average, because there's 52 weeks and only 12 months. You do the math, you divide it, it's 4.2. So you need about $1,000 a month to run a decent pay-per-click campaign, because Google tells you need about 5 clicks a day for them to like you. So you need about $45 a day. Now, if this can start coming down over time to say maybe $5, right? Maybe you can lower that down a little bit, but you might want to do 6 days a week or whatever. But you need at least 5 clicks a day, or Google is going to say, you know what? If you have $10 a day and it's $9 a click, you get that click at 6 o'clock in the morning, your ad is off for the rest of the day. You want to be sure that you're running it at the optimum times, right? So now we've got that. So what is your website conversion rate? How many people show up on your website and either phone you? Do you have the ability for them to fill out a form? Do you have the ability for them to chat? I would not put a self-booking widget on a landing page or a website for people that don't know you yet. Because if your prices are right, they should be a little bit shocking compared to your discount competitors. If they think, well, carpet cleaning is $99 to do my whole house, my neighbor's house, my cottage, and blah, blah, like those deals that we see people running who don't understand how to run a business, how can they justify when they look at your prices and, they do a calculation of their guesstimate, they're trying to get a quote. Automated quote should never be a quote either. It should be an estimate until you show up and test, look, measure, see. Anyways, they're trying to get a quote, and the quote you're giving out is $350. These guys are really overpriced. That's ridiculous. And off they go. If you can have the conversation with them by text, by email, by phone, explaining that discount pricing is a bit of a bait and switch scam, or they're going out of business and they don't know it, and they're using the cheapest solutions and products and all because they cannot afford anything else. They might not even have insurance, all that kind of, you can have that really good conversation properly with scripts that get that out, right? Then now you can book at higher prices. So anyways, a little rant there, but just so you know, the average landing page converts when done really well at about 20%. We'd love it to be higher. I'd love it to be higher. You'd love it to be higher. It isn't going to be higher because there's people that click and go away. There's people that click for no reason. You don't actually even want to be number one at the top of Google's pay-per-click if you're running pay-per-click, because it gets more of the garbage clicks because people go, oh, good. Oh, no, I don't want that. Right. And you just paid for the click. You actually kind of want to have them have to scroll down and think a little bit. So second, third spot's actually a little bit better. Strategic pay-per-click point right there. Right. Then how many do you book? Do you book 50% like we talked about? Right. And what is your average job? Say your average job is $300. Now we know for our $1,000, right? Average cost to buy a customer is inquiry, $45. Takes 2 of them to get 1 job. You're going to have about 10 bookings in the month. Now you've got the math. The average cost per sale is going to be $210 minus the $90 that cost to buy the customer the first time. Average monthly revenue, $3,100 from this one pole in the water, this one source, minus your ad budget that got you there. And you now have a gross profit margin that you pay your technicians out of, your gas, your solution, all that kind of stuff, of $2,200. Right? So that kind of helps you figure out. You say, well, I want more. Well, maybe there's more room to up your budget and get more. The average cost per click, the daily budget is $45 to get 5. We can actually take that and say, but what if we wanted 10 clicks a day? Double the budget, right? Everything else stays the same. You're still a 3-to-1 ROI. That didn't change. But you've now grossed $4,000 if there's enough people for 10 clicks a day, right? So it really comes down to your budget and the volume in that one pole in the water. It's just one pole in the water. Are you going to break the bank at $4,000 or $2,000 a month? No. But if that's one of 20 poles in the water and each of them are making $1,000 to $2,000 a month, you just got $40,000 worth of work from poles in the water, right? So it's a matter of scaling to that. So hopefully that makes sense. I just wanted to share that pole in the water example, and we'll get back to where we're at. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we stand out in a noisy marketplace? Pretty simple. Our goal is to become the best known cleaner. That's actually a trademark term we have now in our company. But the best known cleaner is our marketing program. But the best known cleaner is the one that everybody knows in the marketplace. This doesn't happen overnight, but you get on podcasts. Why did John say that at the beginning? You get on podcasts. You have door hangers and flyers. Every house you do, you do the 20 around a minimum. You put a yard sign and you leave it behind, right? Ask Mrs. Jones, can I leave that in your front yard? You have an A-frame at the end of the street pointing down to where your beautiful truck is so everybody can see connection. Oh my gosh, these guys are in my neighborhood all the time. As you get bigger, that 20% of revenue, your $500,000, that 20% of revenue is $100,000. That's not all to online and offline and database and taking, and building referral partner relationships. Some of that is sponsoring the local soccer team in the higher end areas of town as well. Some of that is because that's the, when you see like Winmars and plumbing companies and you name it, stuff like that sponsor like the local hockey arena, and they might have a sign on the board, or the steps going up to the entrances all have their logo on it. Why? Because it becomes brand awareness out of that 10% of their overall marketing budget, because as they grow a bigger company, that number gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So you become the best known cleaner. You start from the beginning and you build your way up. There is a blueprint for that. So that's how you do it. How do you become the best known cleaner? You follow a blueprint. Pretty simple. What I will show you, that's all part of our coaching and stuff that we do. But what I will show you is the foundation is the most important. You need to have a compelling sales proposition. This is where you get to manufacture reality. We all live in the matrix. You get to manufacture the reality of your business. You get to call your packages. I would have packages, by the way. You get to call your service packages. Carpet cleaning has 3 packages. Upholstery cleaning has 3 packages. Why? Because the best customers will want more of what you've got. So give them more options, right? Anyways, you give it a name, right? You could have a package that's called, new mom package, and have a bunch of things plus a gift plus or whatever. It's the same cleaning you always do, but it's given out to new moms, and you get it put into the welcome wagon, and you give it a name around that. You could have a package for new businesses in town and make sure all the real estate agents and business mortgage brokers and business real estate agents are referral partnered with you. You give them gifts, you take them out for dinner, you do stuff like that. You give them rewards every time they refer somebody, and you have a package for new businesses to get a great cleaning when the place is empty, and then maybe right after they've set up all of their workstations and whatever else, you'll come in and do a touch-up cleaning of the traffic lanes or something like that. You build a package around that. Compelling sales proposition, why you over everybody else, why you're different, and what you named things. Risk reversal guarantee. Don't hide. What you do has to be guaranteed in today's day and age. If they're not happy, you will have to go back, or you'll have negative reviews all over the place. So make that your biggest selling position. We guarantee our work so much that if you're not happy, we'll come back and reclean it, no questions asked, within 24 hours, 1 business day. And I used to take a gift. We called it our recipe for recovery. That's like blueprint for success. Actually, right down there behind there is the recipe for recovery training. And we brought gifts. We did a whole song and dance if we had to come back and do because of a complaint. Instead of going, oh, we got to go back to Ms. Jones' again. It's like, hey, got the gift ready? You guys going? Yep, let's go. Call on the way over, get it done. And it's within 1 business day. Solve the problem. If they're still not happy, probably set bad expectations. It's our fault. We didn't set the expectations correctly. Even if we thought we did, we still got to take ownership of that. We give the money back. But we also said if you could find anybody else who could get the stain out or get the area cleaner, we'd pay their bill for you. We had such a great risk reversal guarantee that we could market out, hey, if you've got cleaning by anybody else in the last 30 days in this neighborhood, we are so confident we can clean better. We'll come and clean your house, take off of our bill what you spent with them, and show you the dirt we could get out that they couldn't. Why did we do that? Because in any neighborhood we marketed to, the number of people that had carpet cleaning in the last 30 days was small. The number of people that thought that was an amazing guarantee and you guys must be amazing and took us up on the offer was large. So it happened a couple of times. We went in and cleaned. And how could we make that offer as well? We were always more expensive than the competitors. So taking their $99 off of our bill, cleaning the carpet again, and showing them dirty water, not that hard, right? So have a founder story. Why did you get into this in the first place? And then your impactful brand messaging. If you have all of that figured out in depth, all the rest of this is super easy. You can build all your systems out. Your website's the hub and tells that entire story. Your website tells that story. Compelling sales proposition, risk reversal guarantee, founder story, and your impactful brand messaging. And there's actually a storytelling framework to the right websites that convert better twice as much as a website that doesn't have this figured out, right? So people are going, oh my God, can I trust these guys? What are they all about? Your brand, your risk reversal guarantee. Easy to opt in. That's a good website. And then start telling the founder story. Looks like this. There's actually a science to it. So it isn't going to Wix or GoDaddy or ChatGPT or any of these tools are coming out and go, build me a website. Okay, well, what's the strategy? Anybody can build pretty, right? You can hire a designer to build pretty. Can you hire somebody that knows how to build strategically as well? And then is it SEO optimized? Are you doing 1,000, 2,000 words a page? Is it using what we talked about in the SEO webinar and masterclass about topical authority clusters and topical authority content? Now, entity SEO, not keywords. Keywords are dead. Entity SEO, generative AI, all of these things is the new SEO to get ranking. Are you baking that into your website and updating it every single week? Yes, I said every week. Does your website speak to your ideal target avatar? Is that a 35 to 55-year-old college, university educated, 80% skewed towards women who have children and pets? Is that your ideal customer for the majority of your business? Of course, you want to do some commercial and stuff like that, maybe, but is that the main focus to kind of get people in the door, best known cleaner, largest volume, and then sell the rest? If it is, your website should be talking to them. Are you a busy, stressed out, overworked homeowner? You've got kids and pets to deal with, spouses that make a mess as well, and you just want to keep a clean, healthy home that you can be proud of. There's your message. Pretty simple, right? Does it have real, authentic images, right? A picture says 1,000 words. Stock imagery says you have no interest in showing them what you're all about and sends them away. Conversions drop by half when you use stock photography, just so you know. Does it include video elements? Can you put a video on every page? Hey, welcome, I'm Tommy here from Tommy John's Carpet Cleaning, and I want to let you know all about our tile and grout cleaning service you're going to see down on the page. Or I want to let you know, hey, welcome to my website. Check it out. Look around. All that kind of stuff. We want to be your carpet cleaner. We're not the cheapest. We just guarantee to be the best and the last one you'll ever need to find. So if that sounds good to you, give us a call. We'll come out to your home, do a full thorough assessment and audit of your carpets, your upholstery, your tile, anything else like that, and a full maintenance plan and a healthy home audit. And not only is that free and complimentary, we'll pay you for it. What does that mean? Give us a call. I'll tell you the whole story, right? Something like that, right? So again, I'm rattling off a ton of marketing stuff because I do this all day long, but this is what you need to do. You want videos on each of your services. You want video explaining why somebody should contact you versus the competition. Does it showcase your online reviews? Does it make them take action? Does it have the basics in order like I showed on the last screen, right? Are there calls to action? Every time they scroll down, pretend they're a goldfish. They forgot what to do. Oh, I get to click that button and call. Oh, I get to click that button and fill out a form or start a chat, whatever, right? Are you leveraging offers that match the page that they're on? Not deals, not discounts, offers. You can add extra stuff. Free bottle of spotter, 1-year warranty, free spot removal service for a year. Like what, new client offer. Didn't cost you, it's not less. It's actually more stuff for your high price, right? Two-way chat. I like chat to text. They fill it out. Their phone goes bzz, bzz, right in their chat app. They can walk away and you're having a conversation there. We use AI to start the conversation. We've built our own platform. And we've now got AI voice coming as well and stuff like that. Again, a lot of services are offering AI everywhere, training it to understand how to speak properly and tell your story, not give prices, not try and sell, try and influence so that they let you call them back, reach out, do whatever. That's the right way to do it. Are you leveraging automation? We talked just about that, right? So good website has all those features before they even scroll down. They're just an example of a really great website laid out properly that tells the right story right from the top. And as soon as you scroll down, why you should choose us and who we are. Tells the next part of the story. So we're near wrapping up. I know we're going to go about 90 minutes this time as well. We always do every year. So we got about 15 minutes left to go through the last little bits. We're going to talk about the rule of 3 to transform your business. So if you want to double your business by December 31st, like you want to have your average monthly revenue be double by December 31st, 2025. This is how we do it. The rule of 3 is everywhere, right? Their plays have 3 acts. Matter has 3 states. Well, now they talk about plasma as a 4th state, so maybe I should change that. Chess is a game of 3 phases. Sales offers, or best with 3 product types or 3 packages is what that kind of means. McDonald's started that, but good, better, best. 3 is best, right? There's 3 is perfect, right? That's the, omni, tri, and perfectum. The Latin means everything comes in 3s is perfect. So Holy Trinity, there is a rule to 3. So did you know that you own 3 businesses? You're operating 3 businesses, a client attraction business, a service delivery business. Once you attract them, you better be doing a great job here. And that's separate. And then a client retention, again, client. So that might actually be customer attraction, service delivery, client retention. If I was going to use my language incorrect. So before the sale, Omnipresence, best known beats best every day. We talked about that. You market your list relentlessly. Grassroots outreach, local referral programs, partner programs. Do you have referral partners? Are you growing? I ask people all the time, do you have any real estate agents? Yeah, well, my buddy's a real estate agent, refers me. Oh yeah, I got a couple. Cool. How did you get them? Well, I don't know. I just kind of knew them. I did some cleaning. They're happy. Cool. Did you leverage that to get 10 or 20 more? No. Wonder why. Don't know. But if you've got 2 or 3 real estate agents referring you or property managers referring you or hair salons and chiropractors and referring you to their customers because you asked them to and you had a program in place, why wouldn't you get their endorsement? I like to do it on letterhead. And in fact, half the ones I ever got, more than half of them, I wrote out the endorsement, went back and said, hey, so here, I'd like to share an idea with you. I'd like to have more great referral partners like you. I'd like to go talk to more real estate agents. I'd like to go talk to more property managers. So here's my reward to you. Here's my gift. I often took them out for lunch. I often offered a free cleaning, their entire home, absolutely clean for free, up to $500 or more, right? Just as a give to get. Bob Berg, the Go Giver, go give to get, right? That was just another book I read. All the books we should read as business owners. That was one of them. Went, I can do that, and created entire marketing strategies around it, right? So you do that, you give to get, you get a letter. I brought the letter and said, tweak any words you want. Great. Do you got a copy of your letterhead? Can you, like, if I was at their office, or can you send me one PDF? I just like to, if you're okay with these words, strike out any lines you don't want, change anything you want. But this was sort of my little wording of what you said to me last. Right. And I would do that. So you want to be able to get referral partners, weekly outreach and awareness campaigns to your marketplace, referral partner reward offers. So programs and reward offers, weekly commercial outreach and follow-ups, neighborhood brand awareness, digital SEO, Google Maps, Facebook, Google ads, local service ads, in-market data. As I said, people search that you can actually get into their inbox and run ads towards Pixel, all your websites, and run retargeting campaigns. There's lots of Nextdoor is becoming a great platform to run some ads on if you do it strategically. We've got a very, very high-end Nextdoor ad rep partner within Nextdoor for our agency. So it's kind of a neat one as well. But lead chase and nurture like crazy. That is all before the sale. During the sale, call scripts, messaging scripts. Do you know how to chase somebody? That first 2 weeks, if they don't book, what do you follow up with them? Next day, wait 2 days, wait 4 days, wait 6 days. That's called the chase. And then, final message after 2 weeks. We used to pop it in the mail, mafia offer, we called it, mailed them out a great offer they couldn't refuse. And then if they still refused, we put them in long-term nurture and stayed in touch with them till they, as we always like to say, buy or die, right? So you want to indoctrinate them to sell the service experience. So if they do book or a quote or a job, what's it going to look like? You start marketing before you show up. Deliver the service experience. Have you got it built? Right? You talk about it, you show it, you do it, sell by chat, all that kind of stuff. Crafting your quote visit for success. Can you double, can you get like your quote visits from, 80% to 90% to 95% booking, even at prices really high? Are you crafting a remarkable, that wasn't a mistake. The word there is remarkable in-home cleaning experience. Why? Because you want people to remark about you. Are you anchoring your expertise, standing out as the best known cleaner and their go-to source? There's ways to do that with follow-up as well, and cleaning tips and spotting tips and healthy home tips and best cleaning products and how to make your own, window cleaner and spot cleaner so that you're not using chemicals in your home and stuff like that. We can teach all of this stuff really easily in tips and drips and emails and newsletters, print newsletters, and all of that stuff. If you're not doing it, you're missing out on a huge opportunity to get into their mind, get into their Dunbar numbers, stay fresh in their mind. Referral rewards to introduce you to others, because now that they're all happy with all of this, of course I'm going to tell people about you. How do I do that? You have to remind them and remind them and remind them, and have VIP clubs. And then after the sale, build a fence, right? Sell the feedback to anchor the experience. Sell the referral to share the experience. Sell the repeat to re-experience the experience. That's what I train on. That's what I've been flown around the world to teach, is how you do that. Service visit follow-up routine. What do you do the day after? What do you do? Like, are you calling the next day? Do you have a survey for them to fill out, right? So you have to have a follow-up for success. That's what we call it in our Blueprint for Success training. After service, next service, upsell opportunity. Can you get back within 30 days? Did you know that if a customer uses you once, the chance of them using you a second time is only about 20%? If they've used you twice, their chance of using you again goes up to 50%. By the time they've used you 4 times, if the experience is equally as good, because it's crafted, it's done well, whether it's you, whether it's somebody else, their chance of ever going anywhere else is down to 5%. Restaurants, same idea. After 4 visits, you're pretty much a regular in most restaurants. So their goal, the smart ones, and I've coached some restaurants in the past as well, their smart ones are, how do you get the person back 4 times as quickly as possible? We actually have a program that tries to get you back in the house within 30 days for something else, right from them filling out a feedback survey, right? So, and then a recipe for recovery. We talked about that. Database follow-up, ongoing nurture, quarterly check-ins, annual reminders, seasonal promotions, VIP package upsells, lost client reactivation marketing. Some people call it the miss you marketing, all that kind of stuff. So power of threes is what you do is you've got three separate parts of your business. You pick one thing in each part as well. So now your business is in threes, pick one thing in each, lock and load it, learn it, lock and load it, make it repeatable. So it's not about this or that, it's this and. So you go around your whole business, you build it up, and it never ends because then you come back and make it better. Good, better, best, 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 best. That's how you grow. What marketing lists are you building and nurturing? You are the keeper of the lists. Like the Lord of the Rings, keeper of the ring, you are the keeper of the lists. Customer lists, commercial lists, the services each person has, whether they have pets and children, that's all part of it as well. Property managers, leads, that's your customers. Leads, inquiries, are you keeping that list? Referral partners, list. You want to have lists for everything and a marketing plan to stay in touch with them. Right. So, and then those lists are built by your ideal customer avatar. If you can see what Joe Jones, so you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys. What does a property manager buy? What does a hotel buy? What does a residential carpet cleaner on a golf course road buy versus somebody in a condo building? And you start seeing them, you can start understanding how to sell them. Right. So your ideal customer avatar, we talked about that last time. And then you put that into all of your messaging. So a little bit of a recap there. Lead nurture automation. You can generate inquiries and leads, but are you nurturing them? It's entirely different. 50 to 60% of inbound leads leave unconverted on average across all the businesses we've looked at. 90% of web forms fail to convert. Why? Because a web form is shy. A lot of people go, "Oh, take the web form off my website." Nobody wants to book from that. You understand that the people that filled out the web form are a little bit shyer. That's why they filled out the web form. They need more nurturing. They need to know about happy customer stories. You need to tell them about, you need to share testimonials. You need to do videos are good. You need to drip on them because that's why they chose the web form. It wasn't that if you take the web form off, all of a sudden they became bold type A personalities and picked up the phone and called you. No, they went to another website with a web form. You just kick them out of your entire world. If the lifetime value of your average client is $5,000 to $10,000, you just lost another $5,000 to $10,000. How do you know that? You run your math and figure that out. So leads that are not followed up within 5 minutes. Phones got to be answered within the first three rings, period. If you do not answer your phones in the van, do not answer your phones in front of jobs, do not answer your phones when you're out on the road at all. If you are on the road, which you should be, not cleaning, but as the business owner doing quotes and meets and greets and, picking up area rugs and solving problems and checking on your technicians and all the things that you should be doing most days out of the office. And when you're in the office, close your door and be strategic and build stuff, right? Build marketing programs and plans and go through numbers and all that kind of stuff. That runs a great business. But if you are doing all of that, who's answering your phones? Well, it shouldn't be you. Who's answering your text messages? Shouldn't be you. There are services for that. There are people for that. So call us if you need help with that. I did a great podcast with Rachel at the Call Studio. Anybody who mentions Carpet Cleaner Marketing Masters actually gets a free month with them. So, and they only answer carpet cleaning phones, and I used them for 20 years as a rollover to help on, at the end of the day, they would carry into the evening and on the weekends. And they also ended up doing it full time when Heather went on maternity leave and through COVID and stuff like that. So they're great. They're great. We have dozens of our clients that are using the Call Studio. So go back to one of our podcasts or reach out to us if you're interested in that. But and they only charge you for booking a job. They don't charge anything other than when a job gets booked. They have a minimum. It's pretty small, but it includes the same number of job bookings. They just say if you can't hire them and then not forward your phones, that kind of idea. But they'll run inside our tool and text message and email and all that kind of stuff as well. And they're really good at it. Because they only deal with carpet cleaning customers, right? But you got to follow up with leads that are inquiries that are not phone calls, that are text messages and emails within 5 to 15 minutes, period. Because everybody believes that it's like a phone call nowadays, right? You got to sometimes follow up 5 to 7 times. You got to drip on them to get a hold of them. That's why people go, "Oh, when people fill out a form, they're terrible. They never get back to me." How many times did you try? How many different modes and modalities did you try? right? So you want to make sure that's all in place as well. You can leverage automation to do that so that when somebody fills out a web form, their phone rings within less than 2 minutes, called Smart Connect. That's how our Carpet Cleaner Lead Pro works. Text messages, you can actually get AI to start the conversation, then taken over by a human when you've got a second, but go back and forth, all that kind of stuff, so that you can start getting those touches in and you can start dripping on them happy customer stories and all the things that convert. When you do that well, I'll just put this right in. This is the example of one of our actual clients. They had all of this in place, but we had not invented Carpet Cleaner Lead Pro yet. They were getting leads from all the poles in the water that we did, plus all their own poles in the water, generating 164 inquiries. We were cold inquiries, and their average conversion rate on the cold inquiries, who didn't have a name in mind and reached out, was 30%. No follow-up. They would book 49, 50 jobs a month out of that average and do about $16,000 just from our sources. Yay, we seem amazing, right? Now, what we did when we built Carpet Cleaner Lead Pro, it was just based on all the lead attraction systems that I ran in my own business for years, all my businesses, the maid services, carpet cleaning, duct cleaning, all of it. Janitorial, how did you chase people down, right? How did you stay in touch? How did you drip on them? What did you send them? What did you say the next day, 2-3 days later? When you built all of that out, all of a sudden it's now 70%. Went from 30% to 45% within that first 2 weeks. 45, 50%. The other 20% comes a week, 2 month, 2, 3, maybe 9 months later. That inquiry still came in September, but now they're calling you because you stayed in touch. Nobody else did, and they didn't get it cleaned, or they cleaned it with somebody else. Didn't like them. That person didn't stay in touch. They're ready to try better, right? And now all of a sudden that exact same amount of marketing that brought in 16,000, not only, but brought in 16,000, now brings in almost 40,000. Nothing changed in your expense. Nothing changed in the number of inquiries that started the whole thing. Same number, same September. By the end of, every month that much, now you got 70% conversion because you're willing to chase them down. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that's clear that you can actually double your business just with better conversions alone. And it looks like this. This is just all your communication sources come into one platform, app and desktop. And then there's automated messages, smart messages, connections, all that kind of stuff. And it just, if they answer this one, they go into that funnel, all of that kind of stuff. You just move them across. Where did you talk to them? Cool. Move them into I talked to them pile. That's, you made a direct connection. Did they book a quote? Did they book a cleaning? They're just going to think about it. Cool. That's all different messages, right? Have they been kind of thinking about it for a week or two and you've been sending messages and you haven't heard anything back? That's a different bucket, right? So that's what it's all about. So you're going to build your plan. Take your takeaways. We're wrapping up here. Which of the 40 plus job producing poles in the water do you have implemented and running in your business? Right? You want to build a custom plan? You can start off by getting the checklist and seeing what you don't have on your internet marketing. That's a good starting point as well. You're going to take 3 action items away. And you want to implement a blueprint. You want to know what you're doing to grow your business. Again, go to carpetcleanermarketingmasters.com/rewards and get all of this kind of stuff. I did want to kind of take a quick minute for any of you want to stick around for a second. What I do, I know we've been an hour and a half. If you want to stick around, I do want to show you one of the coachings and trainings I've done in the past on if it's the winter, if you're slow, or if it's just a slow season, what are the things you should be doing right now? And I kind of just popped up winter slow season marketing opportunities based on some of the programs our clients have available. That's the actual sales letter I used to use that worked brilliantly. There's a copy of it, right? That in Word file that you can, it was literally a 4-page sales letter for the winter, for our winter volunteer clients. And then it was followed up with landing pages, little simple landing pages with the offer on it and an email campaign. That's just an example of one of our giveaways, right? One of the things that we do to our members, right? So, let's go back to this here. So winter volunteer, what is that? That is people from 6 months ago in January to 24 months ago, right? So that's an 18-month window. What you want to do is take all of those people and say, hey, did you know winter is the slowest time of the year? Especially in the northern climates or rainy, mucky climates, or time of year, sorry. And you send out a mailing, you chase it with a phone call, you chase it with an email. 2 weeks later, you send out a second notice, call it second notice. You pick up the phone and call, hey, did you get our mailing? You work the phones, you work the mail, you work the system. You'll actually get more people going, oh yeah, and booking in on the second one. But where do you get all the buzz? On the third one. The third and final notice is extended 1 week only or expiring soon. Any of the, not false urgency, real urgency, because spring is here. So we used to run them from the second week of January, did all the after holiday cleaning, stayed fairly busy. The mailings dropped the second week of January, so about a week ago, all the way through for 6 weeks into March. And we would get from our database, we would cherry pick our database, the people, that were like not rentals, not, the low income areas and stuff like that. We already knew who they were. We always rated our clients A, Bs, and Cs. And this went to the A's and Bs. That's all, right? And we would do that. We also did what we call our Miss You campaign. Jim Wolverton was a friend of mine back in the day, and he and I worked on this. I had a lot of questions around it, and when we dialed in some really good marketing on the Miss You, and that was the 24-month to 36-month crowd. So 2 to 3 years. So just after this one. So right now, this goes back to from again August or July of 2024 back to January 1st of 2023. This is right now. That's what you'd be running right now. This is January or December 31st of 2022 all the way to January 1st of 2022. That would be the crowd right now out of your database. And if you go, John, I don't know those people. Why? Well, my database is on my phone. You're not running a business. You're guessing, right? Oh, I use QuickBooks. Can you really pull this data? You need a database software. Why? Because marketing, building your database is the most important thing. That's your list. That's your job. You're marketing to it, and you can't market to it if you don't know who they are, what they did, and anything about them. Do they have pets? Do they have kids? How much do they spend? How many times have they been back? It's not in your head. It's data, right? So you run your Miss You campaign. And again, same idea. What's the Miss You campaign? The final one was actually the what we called the okay, you win. That was what, again, Jim Wolverton and I came up with. That was hilarious. And that was the final message: one free room, no strings attached. So we targeted people that had more than one room cleaned, or one free armchair, no strings attached. One free area rug, no strings attached. Not because they got one last time. It's because they had a whole house of cleaning before, and it's been over 2 years. Either we didn't impress you, or we didn't impress upon you why you should clean more often. That was the message. But the message started in a 4-page letter. Usually actually with my face up in the corner, or my wife, the kids, the dog, the cat, all that kind of stuff, right? And that kind of thing. But that's an example of the types of mailings that we would put out, right? Every third room free, best of the year, things like that, right? So winter volunteer, Miss You. You have the commercial muck mailing, I used to call it. And that was for any of our commercial clients. We mailed them, and then we stopped in. That was a mailing and a stop in. Right? And that kind of translates to this over here, and mailing and a stop in. And the stop in was to make sure they got, and we took a copy of the mailing, the brochure, and we did a mailing, we did an email, and we did a stop in. And then we followed up with a phone call and stuff like that. What that was we'll clean for you right now and provide free protector upgrade for free. Here's the value to all of the areas to protect your carpet from the muck and the dirt and the winter slime and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll come back before the end of May would be the requirement, sometimes the end of April, depending on when we got this out the door, and do a traffic lane cleaning at half off. So free protector now, traffic lane cleaning at half off at the end of at the end of it all, so that your carpets survive another winter and last years longer. You can ruin your carpet in one bad season. You can save it for 20 plus years if you get it maintained properly. Let us be those people, right? That was the mailing. And it's just a law of numbers. You work and work and work the system, right? So that's another database mailing program right there. I can go through a bunch more, but let's just jump into here quickly because I know we're over time now. Grassroots. While you're doing the winter muck, right? Why not do 5 around? Oops. What I used to do, shy kid, I would stop off at this place that I knew, and I'd go to the business around. Hey, yeah, we're just over at one of our clients. They're, ABC shoes, and just about our winter muck program, right? And we had a better name than that, but that's the example of it. You can use ChatGPT to come up with some cool names that you want to call it, brand it to your own brand. If you're elite carpet cleaning, or something like that, use that in it, right? Use your own brand, impactful brand messaging to really dial it in, make it your own, right? So you've got all that. Now you can do the 5 around commercial. You can reach out to property managers or condos, sorry. And I would actually start with the if you don't know anybody in the building, you don't have a client in the building. If you do, I'd have a chat with them. I used to pick up the phone and call them. Hey, Mr. Stewart, it's John here, the owner of Acclaim Carpet Cleaning. Oh yeah, it's John. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I don't want to bug you. I just know that you live at 31 Front Street, and just trying to get a conversation with the superintendent, Reg, and the property managers. We'd really love to do the hallways, and we got a really cool program that any tenant like yourself that does a cleaning, if we're doing the hallways, you get a little bit of preferred pricing, so a little bit of savings, but we also put some of the what you give us for your cleaning towards the hallway cleaning. So there's a maintenance deal involved. So your condo fees go farther because you're not spending them all on us. Oh, wow, that's amazing. I'll definitely talk to them. Cool. Give me some phone numbers. If you don't mind making the introduction, here, let me show you how, but give me some phone numbers in case they ghost us, they go quiet. We can at least reach out. Right? Well, there's about 4 or 5 of our customers in the building, and I just thought, you're very friendly. You probably know the right people. Oh, thank you, John. Anyways, again, go after condos. Then when we're in that one building, go to other condos that are in the neighborhood because they're usually in little clumps. Ring the buzzer and talk to the superintendent. I just put super in there. Don't have enough room for the intendant. Now you're doing grassroots outreach, right? So you do that as well. So you got commercial muck, you got the 5 around commercial, you got the condos. These are all things that you can do all day long. There's a couple more that we teach as well. And then strategic partners. What you want to do is you want to take all your partners out for lunch. So I just call it partner lunch, one-on-one in the winter. Have a chat about referrals and how their business is going and stuff like that. And ask them if there's any other remind them to refer you. Sorry, it's referral reminder. Right? Referral reminder. And then ask them if there is anybody else in their industry, any other real estate agents, designers, blah, 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 that they can introduce you to and get an intro. All good stuff to do in the winter. It's actually good stuff to do all the time. We actually teach it as a full program. I don't know why my bullets aren't there. Anyways, let's forget the bullets. So yeah, you can do partner lunch, strategic partners. There's lots and lots and lots of things you can do. And it's all built around your, the stuff that we talked about, which is your risk reversal guarantee and your, there we go. Sorry, I'm picky that way. And all that kind of stuff. So, and it's built around your brand, your risk reversal guarantee, your founder's story, and your compelling sales proposition. So that's just a little bit bonus. If you've stuck around for that, great, cool stuff. If you want to learn more about this, schedule. Just jump on carpetcleaningmarketers.com/schedule. We'll do a deep dive into your area, your business. We'll run a whole bunch of reports. We'll do those heat maps. We'll do all kinds of cool stuff. And then you'll jump on a call with me. Usually takes about an hour, sometimes a little bit longer if we get chatty. And we'll find the gap and how to fill the gap. If it makes sense that we can help you, I will suggest that we can help you in some of it, but it's done together marketing. There's no done for you. It's done together marketing, but you've got to get your stuff right as well. So there's a bit of coaching that's needed as well, usually. So we'll get you started on that. Like I'll give you some free stuff. That's all it is. So that's why I do these webinars for free and stuff like that as well. You learn a lot. You can go back to them. You can take notes. You can do that. I get messages all the time going, holy crap, I put this in place. I put that in place, whatever. That's great. I appreciate that. As you grow, maybe you need our services, right? So I scratch your back, you scratch mine. That is totally fine. So anyways, hopefully, thanks for sticking around that little bit longer. Didn't mean to go that much longer, but I really wanted to show you some of the marketing programs. If you are struggling or slow right now, all of those ideas will land $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 over the next 4, 6, 8 weeks. And that keeps the lights on. That keeps business going in the slow season until you're ready. When it's slow out, you are busier because you're the marketer of cleaning services first and foremost. So hopefully you found value in this. Hopefully it was something that was good. I thank you for your time. And again, I love this webinar, the planning, the training, and then the implementing. That's what we just did. Planning, training on the last one, or the planning and goal setting training on the last one. A little bit more hands-on implementing and tearing it apart on this one. So anyways, hopefully you found that valuable, and I will bid you a fond adieu and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much.